Okay, my name is Evelyn Estanirova, and this is the question to coursework project 3. We are going to read an article and then answer questions according to the instructions of the professor. What is the article? Let us see the article. Let's read it. The 2009 recession and the disruption of the world economies caused by the COVID-19 pandemic has led to several changes in consumer buying habits. People are spending more on experiences like leisure and dining rather than goods. Instead of owning many products, people, especially the millennials and Gen Zs, are transforming many industries. They prefer to travel by Uber and have an Airbnb experience where places and people are more important than things. They would rather freelance than work for a corporation and are more likely to try new foods and entertainment instead of accumulating possessions. This market trend has led many large retailers to downsize or close altogether. Smaller retailers have been hurt as well. However, online retailers, home stores, and grocery chains have remained largely immune to the changes in buying habits. So it is I and my business partner that have been in the business for 5 years selling electronics and other accessories. Recently, we noticed that the market is quite saturated and the competition is very high. Our sales have been flat for the last year and a half, and no matter what promotions and products we carry, we can't seem to improve our sales. So we have to realize that the industry is mature and it will be difficult to make money unless something drastic changes. Okay, so now we have to use the link below provided, launching the imperfect business lean startup. So we have to answer the questions below. What kind of changes can be made to implement to expand our businesses? And if we are a specialty retailer that focuses on selling domestic electronic appliances and have several regional stores around the country, how would we pivot our business to avoid slowing sales? And then to create a step-by-step list of our main strategies and how each is going to help us avoid closing down the business. So we have to record the video as well, which I'm doing right now. We have to understand who the millennials and Gen Zs are, what are their traits and spending habits, and then we also need to understand what this lean startup is all about. So let's see this lean startup. We need to develop our identity. We need to engage our target market. We need to create and develop the right product and sharpen our strategies. So this means, according to the lean startup, given the theory of its author, Eric Ries, we need to start up with the resources that we have, and we need to learn from existing companies, how they have survived, how we can manage our little products, given that we are starting using the resources we have and selling the way we are. That means we do not have to fully develop the products before we start selling them, but we are going to sell what we have and then keep developing according to the feedback that we are given by the customers. So that is a brief of the lean startup. So the thing is, we are going to build, then we are going to understand how others have survived. We are going to learn from our customers what their experience was and what they were expecting, or what is their desire. Then we're going to measure if we are there. If we are not yet there, we are going to improve, and then also redo the cycle per time to avoid falling out of competition or closing down. So to answer questions, let us also try to understand who these millennials and Gen Zs are. Um, these are of the age bracket that starts from the year 1980. For the millennials, they are believed to stop at 1996, and then the Gen Z or the Generation Z goes up to starts up from 1997. So these are generally young. We can call them young, all mature a bit. So we have those ones that are older than 41 in another bracket altogether. And what are their tendencies? What are their tendencies in the economy? How do they spend? How are they standing financially? What are their traits? They are believed to be squanderers of money. It is a stereotype. It could be measured to some place, to some degree rather. So they tend to be irresponsible when it comes to spending because they spend unnecessarily. So some people could call them big spenders. And that gives the reason why most of them are indebted. And then their savings are so low in as much as they try, but because they spend too much and they have a standard of life that they desire for themselves, they would tend to spend most of their savings on paying their debts. Thus, buying big investments may not be their priority, or they may even not have the ability in as much as they desire to. They may desire to buy houses, but because their savings are low, they will not. They may desire to make to construct a lot, but they cannot. They may desire to start up big businesses, but they cannot because their savings are so low, and their debts are so high. They are also highly indebted because their income is low, and because what makes one of the causes of low income among the millennials and Gen Zs is because they have low paying jobs that cannot sustain their big spenders lifestyle, and then they have to borrow to sustain their lifestyle. So in the end, they are not so bent in investing. They are bent on rather living their life the way they would. Otherwise, they have to borrow to make these investments. Are not sure if they have a payment plan of these big debts of theirs. So this now that we've understood what the lean startup is all about and who these millennials and Gen Zs are, now let's try to start and answer our question to solve the problem faced by our business, I and my business partner dealing in electronics and other accessories, where we have suffered flat sales for almost a year and a half, not making that much of sales improvement. So what are we going to do? What kind of changes can we make to implement and expand on our business? So now that we know this lean, and now we know that who our target group are, who are the millennials, the big population of recent. So this is what we are going to do to expand this business. We are going to change on the payment plans to make sure that we accommodate this our target market. What are we going to do? Since we know that they are low in income, but they would also be willing to take a loan or a debt, we are going to create a trust-based kind of market that would include them to allow many of them fit in our market, in our to fit in our target market. So what are we going to do? We are going to create payment plans that would allow them to pay in installments and come up for this. How are we going to do this? Perhaps we are going to put off a product of a choice of a certain millennial off the shelf and keep it and allow them to pay, and then maybe when they have paid up, say for instance 80%, we are able to give it to them so they can pay the 20% um, at their pace. So how is this going to work? It is going to be a win-win case where the production cost has been recovered, and then the profit could be acquired later. So making sure that we do not lose out on the market, but also we do not lose out on our capital to reinvest. And since they are also a sophisticated group who wouldn't love to get out of their comfort zone, we are going to also create perhaps an online shop to make it flexible for them to see our products. This is where they can go online because at least most of them have a smartphone and they access internet. They're going to be able to view these things at their comfort place. Take for instance on their beds, on their chair, on their couch, lying down. They are not going to have to walk all the way to the store. So from this they can choose what they want. So we can then offer to deliver, and then even in delivery, let us make it flexible for them. We could take a variety for them to choose from so that they are able to see as many at their comfort and then choose from the variety, and then we can take back to the store what they didn't consume. So we are also going to reach out to them using surveys. We're going to use surveys. With the surveys, we need to understand their satisfaction, their level of satisfaction. Are they satisfied? Are they complaining? Are they getting what they want? No. And if not, how do they advise? What do they wish to see if we are to upgrade the product, these electronic products? Do they want computerized ones? Do they want automated ones? What is it that they want to see? We need to understand them. We need to find out what their mind is, and then when we get this, we come and build products that suit their desire. Then also we are going to use the advantage that they are extremely adventurous. Uh, it has been made known that they are big spenders. So these big spenders are most likely to be adventurous. If they love to travel a lot, if they love to test out something new in the foods, it means they would also go for a fancy product. So we're going to try to make a cost-effective but a fancy product that would attract their attention towards our product, so as to also be able to acquire our own market share, given that we are dealing with a saturated market. Yeah, so that answers the changes that we would make to implement the expansion of our business market. Then also, we are faced with another challenge. If we were specialty retailers that focus on selling domestic electronic appliances, and we have several stores in several regions around the country, how would we pivot our business to avoid slowing sales? Yeah, so this means we are going to create a central point where we can control and monitor the performances of these businesses. What are we going to do? We are going to give them one online store. So here we are going to record all our stocks in that store and know what is going out, what is coming in. So it will help us make decisions as well, knowing what we need to produce more or to avail more for them to see. And then we also have to know that which regions do we have a low saturation of this our appliance or electronic that we are selling, so that we concentrate more having more delivery services in those points than these that are saturated. So that means in the region, take for instance, if we know that in the east the market is not that saturated, we are going to have more of our products in the east, and we are going to have at least a slightly bigger number of delivery services, whatever means we use there. And then if we know Kampala is the central is saturated, we are going to have these, yes, here, but at minimal cost. And then we are going to maybe change and make sure that where the market is not saturated is where we are best, such that we are taking advantage, full advantage of that fact, in order to make sure that we are having our own market share, such that our stores don't close down. So that means even the one in the west, even the one in the north, even the one in the south is able to see this online on their smartphones using the website or using our online store. So it means that once they order, we are knowing where they are ordering from, and they can have point the products delivered. We can also, instead of having our own store, sub-rent to those who are in those areas to minimize costs, because we don't want to have a big store in a place that is already telling us that we have low sales. But what we are going to do, we are going to try to reach out to those who have places there to help us and sub-rent us, so we are able to maximize having more sales than costs, so that we can improve on our profits. We also don't want to totally shut down, so we are not going to withdraw. We are going to find a solution to make sure that we stay, but at a low cost. Then also, in addition, we are going to make awareness of all means that we can. Is it a word of mouth? Is it digitalizing these advertisements? Because remember, we are working according to our resources that we have. This is the lean startup. We are not going to wait for this product to fully develop. We are going to sell as is and then keep developing it. So we are going to start marketing it so that it is known that this business XYZ has this product. As we keep on receiving feedback, keeping an open mind to receive feedback, so that we are able to deepen our or to enlarge our market, so we can increase our sales, not leaving it all to those who have already made a name for themselves. Perhaps we would also want to tell them our advantage over those products that they are used to, because some of them prey on the fact that they have made a name and then they are not improving. So we are also going to crack that down to try and maneuver through the saturated market, so as to make sure that we also take a good share of the market for ourselves. So this is the step-by-step list of our main strategies, how we are going to help avoid closing our business. So one, we are going to go down there, do a very good research about our competitors. What makes them stand out? How have they sustained business? We want to understand, so that we also come back and see the gaps in our businesses, but also silently understanding where their weaknesses, the competitors' weaknesses are, so we are able to maneuver through the market. So we are also going to do a market research to find out the market trend and understand the demand trends. When do these sell most? How do they sell most? Who buys them most? Yes, just to understand, so that we can also take advantage, let's call them seasons. Take for instance, Is it during Christmas season that they are buying most? Maybe these power extensions that we are selling, because yeah, most of them are going to travel. They want to go to the village. They don't know what they are going to find there. So they want to carry things that are going to make their lives comfortable. Maybe they want the extension to make sure that as they are watching their TV, their phones are also able to charge. No one is inconvenienced. They have to wait for another to finish, or they have to put off the TV or the radio before they can charge, and they have to forego one thing, but they want to do it at the whole time. So we are going to take advantage of these seasons, all the trends. Yes. So we are going to have to do our research thoroughly to make sure that we are not thrown out. Then from that, make good use of the information, of the data, of the analysis that we have got from the research, so that we put it into action to stand out and keep trending. Take for instance, if we did a survey, what did we find out? We found out that people want portable gadgets most. We found out that people want appliances that are compatible with others. That is what we are going to work on. So we are going to start working on a product that is compatible with others and that is portable. It can be taken on the go without being without inconvenience. Take for instance, of recent, people are tending to move out from a lot of wires. They want wireless this and wireless that. Can we achieve to minimize those wires around our gadgets? Yes. Can we make them portable without tampering with the efficiency and effectiveness of this? If yes, let us work towards that. If no, who has done it? How do we learn from them, and how do we get there to make sure that we satisfy our customers? So that is it. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for your time, and bye.